Hey, what's up, BJ? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for sending this over. I really don't know if I ever saw the other one or not, so I'm glad to get this. So I've got the two pages up here right now. One says side hill garage, and the other says front yard. I know in your note you said you wanted to try to do recommendations for liquid for 10,000 square feet, but just doing a quick overview here, you have enough of a potassium shortage that you're going to need to put out a granular for that. So as far as the N and P, we can run that totally on liquid, but I think that your K is going to have to come from a different source. So, looking at where like your pH is, totally fine. You're in a good zone. Ideally, I think just for like easy sake of math, I kind of want you to go. Let's looking at a couple of things here real quick. So I think depending on how much nitrogen you really want to go out with, like as far as the rest of your lawn is concerned, if it's anything like matching up like this, you're probably going to end up wanting to match your potassium and your nitrogen together and just do a kind of a fair amount of both of those. But really, I mean, you could get away with 3 pounds per thousand on both of these sample areas with your potassium. But I think actually it'd probably suit you to actually go higher and shoot for a target number of about 4 pounds per thousand and just get a bunch out this year to kind of start loading you into next year because it's remarkably stable and that'll be good for you. Now, one thing that will change is if you look at the saturations, your base saturations on here, you can see on the side hill, you've got 21.9% is magnesium and 58.5% is calcium. So your magnesium is high and the potassium is actually going to help to sort of slough that off a little bit. So it'll sort of move into the soil solution. And I kind of have a feeling, let's see. One thing that could be good for you to do just to kind of maybe bump up your calcium levels a little bit, and they're okay. There's not really anything wrong with that. So we might want to wait to do that until next year. But one thing you could consider is actually applying gypsum as well because your sulfur levels are down as well. So, if you wanted to kind of work that into your program on a low level, 5 to 7 pounds per thousand of gypsum, that would actually help if you wanted to throw that down. And that could go across everything as well, and that'll pull some of those levels up. So as far as phosphorus is concerned, if you did want to do liquid and that was something that you wanted to run, there's enough in the green pop to take care of this. So for 10,000 square feet, on the front yard, one application at 15 ounces per thousand. So I don't know if this is all, I don't really know how your total setup is, but for this one that's labeled front yard, one application at 15 ounces per thousand is more than enough phosphorus that you'll need on that, and you would need to do 2 on the other side, on the side hill or side garage, whatever you call that there. So that green pop would be good to have on hand, and a gallon will do 8,800 feet, kind of right in that range. So you're going to need a little more than that. And really, it probably wouldn't. Well, I mean, have 2 gallons on hand. I guess that's probably the best way to do that, or a 2.5 gallon jug, whatever you think, because that's something that you could use later on as well. So that's funny. So the other thing that you could do is that, since this is a Sunday, just so you know, my daughter's actually laying on the carpet back here, trying to hide also. So like this whole place is kind of like a lot of people running around. So anyway, a couple gallons of that would suit you well. Just I would say go ahead and grab that. Now, as far as the nitrogen is concerned on the rest of it, if you don't want to go with that match, when I typically run a cool season program with our liquids, we're not doing more than 2 pounds per thousand of N, and you can get there with the green punch. If you want to go to that level, if you're running it at like the baseline level of that material, you get a 1/4 pound out on the standard application rate. So, based on your CECs, your soil's more set up for spoon feeding anyway. So you could just do that and just run it on like a 3 to 4 week program. Just put it out, put it out, put it out. Just have that be your nitrogen source, and that's going to pick up some of your other materials as well, because it's got iron in it, it's got some additional sulfur in it, and there's a lot going on in that material. So weigh that one out if that's something you want to do. That material can be run up to like 24 ounces per thousand, but typically the high rate is 18. So you can play with the rates in there and figure it out. But at the 15 ounce rate, it's going to be right at a quarter pound of nitrogen every time you put it out. So jumping back to your potassium thing here real quick, I would just say it would be worth it for you to get some sulfate of potash and plan on putting that out either in a bunch of applications and split that 4 pounds out over the course of the year, or do it in 4 big doses at a pound per thousand on each application. You can be the master of your castle on that. Either way, target for the year is 4 pounds. Just don't put it all out at once. Let it come down into the soil over time, because again, your soil particles are actually fairly large with a lower CEC, and that's going to be kicking off some of your cations. If you put in too much too fast, you're not going to get as good of a result. It's better to feed it in slow. So other than that, I'd like to see this organic matter number come up. 1.6 and 1.9, man, that's not holding much water. So a couple of things could have contributed to that over time, like depending on how you've been running programs in the past, or what this place looked like and all of that kind of stuff. Organic matter takes a long time to build up, and it builds up because of roots and just digestive, the material digesting lawn clippings and all that kind of stuff. So that's something that I'd love to see that number come up, because it'll hold more water, it'll hold your nutrients better. It'll just give you overall a better lawn. And honestly, that combo, that RGS combo with anything you put out, if you just throw it down, it's going to boost your roots, and we want to leave the roots in the soil, and that's going to help contribute to overall better soil organic matter. So I think that's really it for all of this. There's not really a whole lot else I need to really do major adjustments on. Your minor elements are fine. There's not really, again, not a whole lot that really needs to be changed there. That's something that can be maintained with microgreen. If you have a gallon of that and just use it on a regular basis, that'd be fine too. So just shoot me an email back if you have any questions about this, and we can just chat back and forth about it. Talk to you later.